there. Today we're going to be talking about something that I think is really important and also really hard to organize for, and that is traveling with makeup. In my mind, because makeup contains so many small, I don't know, like small items, and yet there are so many of them, it can kind of be really hard to ensure that you remember to pack everything. So tonight I'm actually packing for a trip to New York. So essentially what I like to do is I always like to pack my makeup a night before, and then in the morning I like to put on my full face of makeup with what I packed. And that's just to ensure that all of my makeup has been accounted for and that I'm leaving no makeup piece left behind, no man left behind. You get it. Usually the first place that I go to is starting with my base layers, so I like to put on an oil, and I also like to put on a moisturizing agent. This is also the time that I like to rack my brain to think of like all those Sephora samples that I've gotten in the past to see if I have anything maybe stuffed away in my closet that I can really utilize for this trip that will help me reduce down some of the bulk and some of the volume. Here are some that I pulled out that I thought would be relevant for this particular trip. So the first one is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. Essentially this is just a little package which is going to contain all my primer for the week. I also have another couple of samples of moisturizing cream, so I'm just going to put that in there and kind of mix moisturizing cream all together. So I have a sample size of Clinique Smart Oil, which I'm going to be using also as my base layer, so I'm just going to drop that in there. And as you can see, it's barely filled, and yet I have all my moisturizer and all my oil. Okay, so that takes care of my base. My face. I can't say it. You understand what I'm saying. So then, funny enough, I actually also have samples of Urban Decay's eyeshadow priming potion. I think this time around I'm going to take my sample size because actually each one of these samples contains a lot of product. Drop that in there. And then what? So the next thing that I typically put on when I'm doing makeup is eyeshadow. So an example of a palette to me that has a lot of diversity is the Lorac Pro palette. It has darker shades alongside lighter shades that can kind of really help you achieve that full dynamic range of looks when it comes to your makeup. So I'm actually going to pack this one just due to the nature of the fact that I'm not only going to be going to nighttime events, but I'm also going to have to be waking up in the morning to go to meetings. My eyes are kind of done with the exception of my mascara. I am going to, actually that's a good point, mascara. I am going to use my two favorite combos when it comes to mascara, and that's the Clinique Primer and the Mally Volumizing Mascara. The power of these two combined make my eyelashes look like I'm wearing falsies. I'm in love. I'm very, very happy when it comes to these two. Okay, so now that we got our eyes taken care of, I generally, when I'm doing my makeup, move on to foundation. So foundation is kind of one of those things where it's like, unless you just have a small foundation tube, you're probably going to be out of luck in terms of trying to reduce down some of the bulk. I'm actually going to pack my Clinique Stay Matte Oil-Free Makeup. I'm obsessed with this makeup. I did buy the color a little bit too dark, but I don't want to talk about it, and I still wear it. Anyways, I love this. It's great to travel with. I'm dumping that in. To counterbalance some of the darkness, I have to lighten it up. So I'm going to bring my Age Rewind Eraser Dark Circle treatment from Maybelline. This going in the bag. As you can see, we already have eyeshadow, foundation, primer, moisturizer, and cover-up, and this bag is not even close to being filled. Don't forget your eye cream, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget your eye cream. This is my go-to so far. Clinique All About Eyes Rich Reduces Rich. All About Eyes Rich. Does that seem like incorrect grammar? Clinique All About Eyes Rich. Anyhow, so this is what I'm going to bring along. This is my big bulky item. Long hair, don't care, throwing that in the bag. So this is when I try and kind of cut back. I'm just going to use my go-to everyday bronzer, which is the Too Faced Milk Chocolate in light medium. I think this is probably too light for a lot of people, but for me this thing works perfectly because my skin is so freaking light as it is. So I'm going to drop that in the bag. I'm also going to bring my Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector. This is my whole dream in Moonstone. I like this a lot more when I first got it, but now I don't know. It kind of just looks like a little thick on my skin, but I'm still trying to go through it because these products are so expensive. They're so expensive, and I don't like that. So, dropping that in the bag. So, some people are a huge fan of lipstick. I am not. I have extremely dry lips. So, for me to get through a full day of lipstick, especially when it's a work day, it's probably not going to happen. And given that I'm going to be spending a lot of my time with clients, lipstick is going to be a no-go for me. I'm going to pack a lip gloss because that's generally pretty hydrating. I'm going to grab the Lorac Mademoiselle Alter Ego lip gloss. This is another one of those things where I got this like really cute Christmas packaging, and I love Lorac, but this lip gloss was slightly patchy. But it is doable, so I'm going to bring it anyways. What are we talking about now? Brushes. Like, you know what I'm talking about. Like, brushes are everything. How do you not bring all of your brushes with you traveling? I don't know. It's a hard call. I'm going to try and do it anyways. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pack my big shader brush. I'm going to pack my E55 smaller compact shading brush. I'm going to also get my angle brush because I use this for eyeliner when I don't feel like actually doing eyeliner. I'm going to bring this small brush, which sometimes I don't know, I also kind of use for eyeliner, but not really. It's hard to explain. I'm going to be using this for adding in, this is like a Sigma Pencil E30. I use this in the inner corners of my eyes to add in shimmer and sparkle and all that good stuff. I'm going to also be adding in this big fluffy angled brush because this is just miracles for the creases. And then I'm going to be adding in this big fluffy brush like I did today, which just kind of also goes in the creases but gives you kind of a lightened up look, a less intense look. And then we have to talk about face brushes. Of course, I need to bring my beauty blender, so I'm going to do that. And then I'm also going to bring a blush brush and my foundation brush, which I actually don't use for foundation. I use it for contour. And then this one, which I use for powder. See? I'm so glad we talked about this because I'm already missing a ton of things. I am missing my powder, and I am also missing my setting spray. So for this, I'm going to bring the Makeup Forever Mist and Fix. It's not really a setting spray. I know it kind of just meshes the layer, but for me it's really helpful, especially in traveling, and it's in travel size, so yay! I have this small baby travel size of Makeup Forever high definition powder, so I'm going to just drop that in because that powder will last me for weeks if I travel with it. And I totally forgot that I almost forgot brows. So I need to bring my Anastasia Beverly Hills brow pencil in number 12 and my Anastasia Beverly Hills dark brown brow pomade. I think I'm good to go. I think I am. But who knows? Because I don't know that I've actually packed everything, no matter how many times I go through it in my head, what I'm going to do tomorrow morning is I'm going to wake up and attempt to do a full face of makeup with everything that's just in this pouch. If I'm forgetting something, I'll know exactly what I missed because I tried to do a full face of makeup with it. So anyways, thanks guys for watching. I know this was like a relatively long video, but I just wanted to explain everything that I bring along for travel, which can all fit into this tiny little bag.